Hey there, Board Game Brody here with Let's Table It, where we get games to the table. Like this one here, Backstories, the Emerald Wedding Anniversary by Boîte and Lucky Duck Games. It's a cooperative adventure game that is like, a point and click game. As you make choices in the game, cards will be placed so that, later in the game, the story will ask if a certain event has occurred and it will change what happens according to your previous choices. So the story is different every time. In this story, you are facing off against General Darkosa, and you need to infiltrate while being discreet and compose yourself while you sneak into his party to get what you want. You will need to dodge traps and steal the precious hard drive that you might not be the only one looking for. You want to get your hands on it before anyone else does. And, well, this is kind of a hard game to show you, as I don't want to reveal too much, as your choices will determine the story, and that's what makes the game so good. I don't want to reveal the story so that you don't get the experience. So here is how it works. Each card in this box has a number on the top left. Some cards will have you flip over that same card, and the back sides will list a number and a star next to it, indicating that it's the back side of that card. The cards reveal the story, and different cards will come out depending on your choices in the story, making it so that you can have many different storylines within the story. You will have some cards that give you actions that you can interact with using that card and placing it on the back side of one of the cards, forming that current panorama that you're in. Each type of action will show you just the part of the backside of the card that is needed to see using that type of action. You will gain and lose these types of actions to perform actions. Some you will have the entire time to do stuff with, while others is like a one-time use, and others you might lose and, you're not able to do it anymore. But the puzzle is doing these in an order that gives you more or opens up more doors, or using it in that item in the right way. As you continue the game, cards will have tabs on the bottom that are purple, and the story will tell you to continue to add these to the bottom of your character, indicating you made those decisions. Now, the beginning of the game focuses on your decision making and making decisions, but near the end of the game, those decisions will then determine further outcomes that you now have to deal with. So just remember, maybe nothing bad happens when you first make a decision, but it may come back to affect you later in the game. The game is set up so that you have a discard area, a panorama area, an objective area, which will change as you progress in the story, and lastly, your player area, where you will have your character, sometimes using a disguise, and all your action cards there. Overall, the game will tell you what to do with the cards. You just keep on reading them, and the flow of the game is actually very simple. Just make sure you read the things and know, what you have done already, and after you finish a card, place it in the discard area so you don't get confused later as to, wait, what's this card doing here? Have we done this one yet? Things like that. Now, you have a limit of how much beaten up you can get in the game, and I won't tell you how much, but the first time you will probably not make it to the end, but then you will replay the game and make better decisions or different decisions and see if that helps. You will continue to go forward in the game, and if you die, you lose the game. And if you make it to the end, then you win the game. The story will tell you what your outcome is as you follow through it. And well, that's Backstories, the Emerald Wedding Anniversary by Boîte and Lucky Duck Games. The box shows that the difficulty is 3 out of 5 stars, with a secret agent and humor type of story used for the game. It says the atmosphere is for all audiences with an age of 12 plus, although I did end up playing it with my kids, which was fine, except we did encounter the F word on one of the cards that my 9-year-old was reading out loud. So yeah, at least she was wise enough not to read it, and, she did show it to me, and we skipped that part for my 7-year-old. That's, not a new word that we want him to learn while playing this game. But besides that, this game was actually really fun to play with the kids, and they liked making decisions and seeing what happened and forming, those decisions together or separately and going with it. Like I said before, usually you don't see what happens from your decisions until later in the game. So you most likely will, get towards the end of the game every time you play the game, but winning or losing can, be in the last couple of cards. You will, check your purple banners and see what outcomes, get triggered as you get those cards. We did learn things after we played first and lost. We were able to adjust some things and played the second game right after. We did adjust some stuff, but then went in a different directions on other things. Somehow we got lucky and made it to the finish alive the second time we played. But after that, the kids still wanted to play again, but just making different decisions to see what part of the story that we didn't get to discover. This is a fun storytelling game, not really an escape room game or anything, although some of the mechanics kind of feel like that a little bit. The cards hold the answers, and it's up to you to make decisions to find things out. Or, talk to the right people. You will have cards showing what your objective is for the current part of the story that you are in, and as you complete that, a new one comes out, and it'll guide you to what you need to do next. I am impressed with the experience with this game. It's a small box game full of large cards, and the cards are nice, not cheap or anything. The art is done to match the tone of the story. There are a couple of transparent cards that you can place on your main character, which is nice, a nice touch to the game to give you a good visual to get more immersed in the game and in the story. Really, I would like to try another one of these games. It was pretty good. A game I'd like, you're going to play it 5 or 6 times in total and either trade it away or gift it to someone else after that, but it's still worth it. Again, Board Game Brody here with Let's Table It, where we get games to the table, like Backstories, the Emerald Wedding Anniversary. This is a cooperative game, an action game that holds different things than a lot of other games. Again, please like and subscribe to our channel. We are working hard to bring to you videos like this one so you know if these games here are ones that you want to get to your own table.